Alright, now here we go, alive and kicking with the Warlock, GuruSkippy with the Demon Hunter. We've been seeing Guru play the Demon Hunter quite a bit here. So we'll have to see if he can make this happen. Eldar versus Grey Knights. Of course, this is Elite Mod, or sorry, Elite Mod. It is the Elite Mod. It's also the Elite League, Division A. This is the tough guys. I'm in Division B, and I'm not even winning any of those fights. So to give you any idea, these guys are well out of my league, quite literally right now. Guardians, Banshees, Strike Squad. That's what we're looking at so far. Gerillo's Forge, a pretty small map. So I feel like that can work well to the Grey Knights' advantage because the Eldar are so fast.
Adding support structure.
The Grey Knights won't have to deal with having a great big spread out map getting constantly decapped around the map by Eldar because they should be able to react pretty quickly. Strike Squad and Demon Hunter engaging with the Guardians. I'm surprised the Guardians are trying to fight this. They actually lose a couple models right out of the gate here.
Support structure complete.
And some caps going down up top. Where are we? What are we seeing from Guru? Guru goes for fast generator.
Deliver the armaments at this time.
I feel like that's probably going to be Purgation. But it might be Interceptors as well. We'll see. Banshees can't hang around with this. Warlock looking to kill himself some Stormtroopers, but the Demon Hunter and Strike should be able to force him off, at least for the moment. The Garrison going to protect the Stormtroopers for the time being. And Guardians hoping to get a kill on that power node up top. Oh, I was wrong. It was not Purgation. We're going to see some Operatives out. Operatives were a big problem when they first came onto this field, but these days they're a little more brought into a reasonable situation. They're kind of like shotgun scouts on steroids. They have a bunch of different grenade options along with their shotguns for some nice close, like kind of close range damage.
Are claiming a victory objective.
Not quite Banshee-Krillus range, but you get what I'm talking about. Aspect of Strength coming down on the Banshees, Guardians, and Stormtroopers to be clashing on the south here in a few moments. Warlock throwing down his slow field, but the Strikes are not in a position to actually do anything about it with the Banshees there. Now, is that a channeled ability? He can actually move around while that's down, right? He didn't actually move to engage the Warlock. Meanwhile, down bottom, grenades are exchanged. It looks like wasn't much of a connection. And I'm not actually sure who wins this fight. I feel like maybe the Guardians, simply because they're just outnumbering their opponents. Yeah, a couple Guardians did go down though. And now we have the Purgation squad. So the Purgation comes out behind the Operatives. People are still figuring out Grey Knight builds, I feel like, so I'm never quite sure what we're going to see. 480 to 464. The node goes down. The Operatives stealth away. Can he get out of vision range? He's trying really hard, but it's not going to happen. The knockback comes down. The Operatives should be alright. And the Demon Hunter and Strike should be able to force off these Banshees. They're quite beat up already. Down a model. Might lose another one or two on retreat here. Just the one. And Rangers out here for Kickin. So Kickin doing a pretty solid job here.
Enemy Space Marines are claiming a victory.
Stormtroopers charging forward. I don't know what that grenade was supposed to hit, but it was way off. That's like when you're like across the room from your friend and you want him to toss your keys and he like overhand hurls them. It's like, what the hell was that? Why would you throw them overhand? That's what the rest of that Guardian squad is like. They're like, dude, that was not even close to where you were supposed to. What? Purgation squad putting down the suppression, locking down all these Eldar. With the slow on top of that. Still not quite enough to lock everything down. Oh. What do we have here? The Blessed Icon.
I have found terrain. We must not.
Word of the Emperor. Ah. I haven't seen much of the Demon Hunter, especially with some of the updated abilities and changes, so interested to see how these things play out. Yeah, that's what it looks like effectively AoE Fleet of Foot. Increased speed, but reduced damage. Some energy coming in for the operatives. They do have their fallback plan. Stormtroopers and operatives. Where's the purgation squad? Where is it? It's coming up over here. Gen's continuing to go down again over here. The Rangers and Guardians just don't seem like they're quite enough to threaten all this. A grenade comes down. Oh, nice knockback. Not quite on target, but it's enough to scare off the squad. Actually, wow, almost does kill it with a second grenade. I didn't think that was going to be so close. The operatives do, or sorry, the stormtroopers do escape, I think with only the Sarge. And lots of pressure from GuruSkippy on this map. Kind of the opposite of what we saw before.
Our reinforcements are here. Tell me quickly what you wish. Our kin watch from above.
Alright, a moment of quiet while the Grey Knights kind of rally their troops over here, try to figure out where they're going to approach these sinister Xenos next. Demon Hunter taking some fire from some Guardians, but he's just going to charge into it, no problem. Are they just going to hop into the garrison? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Burn a grenade goes down. Trying to force them out of that garrison. They're still standing in the Burnination. The Guardians actually went down pretty low, but a mass retreat on the approach of these Banshees. The Banshees and the Warlock definitely enough to deal with this this kind of motley crew of Grey Knight forces, or Order Malleus, whatever you want to call them. Both players headed into Tier 2 right now. Warlock with does have the Champion's robe, so he's a tanky boy, but still not doing all that much damage directly.
Against any enemy. We have this must wait to our other business.
Operatives lurking about while the strikes and stormtroopers push forward against the Eldar forces once again. 383 to 423, but about to be a triple cap against GuruSkippy. GuruSkippy's going to lose the small victory point advantage he has and probably go quite a bit into the deficit if he doesn't manage to win this engagement. A triple cap makes those points disappear very quickly. Another incineration bomb goes down, burning up some more Eldar, forcing off the Rangers if nothing else. But the Banshees are continuously the problem for these Grey Knights. Nice flank over here from the Purgation Squad, though. None of the Eldar are in position to do anything about this. Node goes down, one generator goes down. Will the second go down before the Banshees can do anything about it? Nice slow field stopping the Banshees, but a grenade comes in. Will the Banshees be able to finish off this squad? It looks like they will not quite be able to make it happen. The Warlock probably could have picked off another model there, but stayed on the Demon Hunter. And we've got a Rhino coming out here for the Grey Knights. Eldar in Tier 2, but not quite enough power to bring out what I mean, I would assume we're going to see a Wraith Lord. Could also be a Falcon.
Our cover is riddled with fire.
What do you require?
Things are looking okay here. Guru's in Tier 2. He's got his vehicle up.
Adding support structure.
And he just got a nice little gen bash in over here too, so things are looking alright. That said, it's still very close. Purgation Squad already upgraded with its silencers. There are operatives, but I'm not sure where they're at. They're not here to spot, but there's no answer yet from the Eldar for this vehicle. We do have Aspect of Strength Banshees, so they do have the heavy melee on their X-Arc. And he's just gonna bait him back into the side cannons. Oh no, the X-Arc goes down right away, but an Altark drop is the answer over here. Grenades get dropped from on high, forcing off the side cannon Purgation Squad. Now the Altark's out here to cause some more trouble. Demon Hunter hops inside of the Rhino, now with the Twin Link Bolter up top. The side cannon is, I don't know, I feel like the default Purgation Squad is just fine here. But maybe he was expecting a vehicle, and that's why he went for the side cannon for some soft AV. I'm not entirely sure, but
We have lost the generator to enemy fire.
yeah, Inakura, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure about that myself. All right, sneaky Eldar. Using the hollow field to hide, like cowardly Xenos. Or maybe they're just cunning. I guess it depends on your point of view. 362 to 295. GuruSkippy lost a lot of points on that last push, but it looks like he's got a pretty good setup over here now. Going for an Altark and a Bright Lance now instead of getting any vehicles on the field. No Falcon. No Wraith Lord. Kind of curious, honestly. I don't know if those are just viewed as not particularly great in this matchup, but I don't imagine why that would be the case.
The humans have come on their laughable crusade.
Using this, I shall strike where they are weakest.
Operatives looking sneaky, trying to figure out what the Eldar position is. They are spotted, however. Whoa, I didn't realize how far they could throw that grenade. Wow, that guy's got an arm. Those operatives, ex-baseball players. Look, it's the guys.
Generator operational.
Here they are. The Crusaders. The crusade begins. Alright, let's see what they can do. Inakura says nice throw. Oh, for the grenade. I'm hoping he's not saying that to the Crusaders. Alright, oh man, fusion rifle over here on the Altark, which is something we don't often see. And it looks like it might actually pay off here. Manages to take out the Razorback. The Altark hightails it out of there. The Banshees are in here hacking up through some power armor. Sends the Purgation Squad out. Where are the Crusaders?
Our howling banshees have howled their last.
They're retreating. That's no fun. I want to see them do stuff.
One of our generators is under attack.
Space Marines! Let us see how their armor stands against our power source.
They walk like they need to go to the washroom, these guys?
We have 300 points remaining.
Ethereal Slash comes down. The crusade continues up north. And the VP is even up once again. It's a lot of back and forth here. Some good engagements from both sides. The fusion gun on the Altark is pretty cool just because, I mean, this is the game that has the fusion gun on the Altark and Crusaders. Come on, how do we not love this game? Now, once the fusion gun is purchased, can the Altark switch to the Executioner or no? Because if not, that's probably why you don't see the fusion gun often, because the Altark's just generally better as a melee threat.
Our aspect warriors have fallen to the enemy. Adding support structure.
Crusaders up north.
Sights are set on me.
Equipment is scaling reports only to scale. Capture the top.
What is that ability? Is that from the Demon Hunter? Let's see what this is. The Force Rod. Retribution. Silence, damage, and knockback. It's kind of weird that it's like a green, it looks like a poisony thing. Oh no! We looked away, and the Crusaders were getting chopped up by Banshees. The crusade is over. Fall back. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, the Eldar get ripped apart by lots of range damage from the strikes and stormtroopers. I don't know if Guru's going to be able to hold here. He's trying to get that cap, but it's not going to happen. The Warlock says, no, sir. Operatives doing what they can, but the Demon Hunter in a lot of trouble here. Chased down by the Warlock and assassinated. Side cannons open up on the Altark, and now, again, we see these operatives out here dropping the flame bomb. Strike Squad even in the retreat path. Oh, no, they're going to cap. I lied. I kind of thought the strikes with the Justicar may have been able to finish those guys off, but apparently not. GuruSkippy heading into Tier 3. Down a Demon Hunter, but up about 50 VPs at the moment anyways. Ecotech says you can switch the Autark weaponry. But as of right now, it looks like Kickin is sticking with the fusion gun. He doesn't have a whole lot of resource, so it might not be worth it in his mind to switch back. Operatives taking some losses here, but they've been Stormtroopers taking some losses. Oh! I'm getting my Grey Knight words mixed up still. These Crusaders have done nothing but retreat. Every time we look at them, they're just falling back. I just want to see them do something cool. Is that something they're capable of, or are they bad? Alright, 183 to 295. Triple cap against the Eldar. The Eldar need to do something sooner than later. Going for a Wraith Lord now. Banshees come screaming in, but even the Banshees are struggling to fight all this. An Ethereal Slash goes down, does some good damage, but not quite enough to stop the Grey Knight advance. Woo, those operatives. Shooting fast, doing damage. Oh, alive and kicking. Come on, don't start pulling out the Johns now. We're not here for it.
With haste.
Alright, we have the Acolyte leader now. Let's see. 50 power melee DPS Eviscerator. What is an Eviscerator? What is this thing? I can't turn around. Oh, we'll have to look at it later.
The Temple Exarch leads us, Banshees.
We've got the Emperor's Torch coming in. And the Wraith Lord is on the field. Big bad melee walker. Can be upgraded for some pretty serious range damage as well. The Banshees and Warlock are just charging in against these side cannons. Strike team, the Demon Hunter. Can they actually fight this? The Altark jumps in, knocks back the side cannons, which do have to be set up to fire. Ethereal Slash ripping apart this Grey Knight side over here. But the Crusaders are in here. They're fighting the Banshees. No one's ever fought against Crusaders before, so he's not sure if the Banshees win or lose this. I'm not either, but it sure as heck looks like the Banshees are losing hard. They get knocked back, but a nice backhand smack from that Wraith Lord might protect the squad. No, they go down anyways. There's some rings happening around the Crusaders. I don't know what Crusaders do. This might be the first cast that I've ever actually seen them used in. They're reinforcing, but with the Banshees down, that's pretty huge. Oh my gosh, these operatives destroying Guardians trying to decap the south side there. 67 to 284. But it is a 2-to-1 cap right now. Kickin is buying some time, but has to be careful. Needs to do something about those down Banshees, but losing the Warlock isn't exactly what I had in mind. Oh no. Skippy looking good, showing us the power of the Grey Knights and the Demon Hunter here. Taking out Kickin's Warlock. Can he close this game out? It's only 67 more points. We have the Vortimer Razorback coming out. That's a kind of the new tier 3 sort of tank analog for the Grey Knights. It's not a tank so much as it's just a powerful range support vehicle. It has twin link side cannons up top. And yeah, Skippy takes the win. Kickin throws in the towel. Let's take a look at the what's this eviscerator? Is this just a chainsaw? This guy just has a chainsaw. Is that what's going on here? They call it an eviscerator, but it's just a chainsaw. I mean, I guess a chainsaw is just like a two-handed chainsword, right? I mean, a chainsword is just a one-handed chainsaw, so I guess a two-handed like a two-handed like a Zweihander is just a chainsaw. It's a big chainsaw. Oh my gosh. It's a bad model, to be honest. Oh dear. Well, his hood looks very silly as well. Is that actually what those guys look like? Well, we finally got to see Crusaders in actions, and they after almost perishing a couple times, they took out the Banshee squad in their multicolored robes here. Guru takes it, making the Grey Knights look good after losing it with what we would expect him to win with the Orcs. Alright, welcome back to some more Elite League matches here in the Dawn of War 2 Elite mod. We've got Alive and Kickin as the Plague Champion, facing off against GuruSkippy as the Commander Nod. This is a group stage game from Division A best of 3 series. So let's see where it takes us. Orcs versus Chaos. Plague Champ seems like he's probably a pretty big headache for pretty big headache for the Orcs to deal with. It's a lot of splash damage. It's a lot of AoE. It's a lot of damage over time. The Plague Champ's just a pain in general. So I feel like as Orcs, but GuruSkippy is a beast with his Commander Knob. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes as we get into this. This is a fairly small map here. This is Selenon Island, I believe this one's called. Commando hops into the garrison. Alright, a little fire exchange between heroes. And Sluggers and Shooters pushing forward over here. Heretics looking like they want to fight. The Sluggers are already down to about half health. Nice looking stun bomb actually hits all of the Heretics. The stun bomb has been updated, so it only stuns the models that are actually within the blast radius now. So pretty nice to see that even with that new update, Guru can still land those nice stun bombs. Heretics are forced off, but the Commando can't stick around for too long. And with the Plague Champ's damage over time, he'll actually get forced out of this garrison pretty quickly too. So the Sluggers and Shooters pull back. It looks like the Commando has no choice but to fall back as well. Despite the strong stun bomb connection, he still can't take this fight quite head on. The Plague Champion and the Chaos Space Marines are just too much piercing damage for all that infantry that the Orcs have. We need to turn this up a bit, don't we? Alright, looks like it'll be Inniker versus Creed next on the casting roster. Not enough of you are voting. This is how bad things happen. Inniker stacked the vote. Fair enough. He paid for it. That's what happens when you don't vote. Is the game too loud now, or am I still well over it? Let me know. Another stun bomb goes down. Chaos Space Marines get nailed. The Luda boys over here ready to set up camp. Blast away. The Plague Champion gets suppressed, but keep in mind, suppression doesn't actually affect his firing rate. He'll continue firing even when suppressed here. So you have to be careful. The Ludas are going to keep everything locked down over here. It might buy some time for the Shooter boys to continue blasting away. More generators going down. Skippy keeping the pressure on while Kickin finally gets the Raptors up here to shut down this Orc bash. Slugga Boys getting engaged by, oh, now an aspiring champion on that Heretic squad makes it much scarier to engage, gives it a lot of extra health, and of course, a pretty hard melee swing as well. These Slugga Boys getting caught out of position. Another Raptor jump comes in, suppression comes down, and the Sluggas are forced off of the map. Looking to return the favor, get a Gen Bash in for the Chaos Boys over here. Worship continues, that Worship providing, of course, some healing over time. Ooh, look at this. We've got a stabby commando knife with the Assassin's Knife. And some survival equipment coming out as well, the Meta Combat Kit. Commando takes a big chunk of health off, but the Plague Champ is setting up a turret on the power gens. Oh no. Oh dear. This Plague Champ turret has such a wide arc of fire, it can actually cover all the way over here in addition to the gens. The Orcs do manage to get out of there before getting suppressed, and looks like they will be able to flank this and get into a pretty reasonable position. Gens are back up for the Chaos player. Kickin trying to cheese Skippy right out of this game. Let's see if he can make it work. The two Shooter boys and the Ludas are on the flank, but the Raptors have something to say about that, and Heretics moving in from the far side of the engagement as well. All the Orcs are routed. And it looks like Skippy is not going to be taking control of his gen farm quite yet. The Bile Spewer has been purchased after the turret went down and stayed up, so these gens are going to go down pretty quickly to the Plague Champ. The Chaos could even pull off most of the rest of his forces and go elsewhere on the map. Sluggas are looking to get in a bash of their own, but it looks like Kickin is ready for it. He sees this coming. He's got Raptors responding already. He's got the Heretics over here as well to suppress and prevent that range firepower coming in. One generator goes down very quickly to the burners, as we would expect, but not quite enough to return the favor. And the Plague Champ might even just steal these. If the turret can't be killed, he might just steal the power, since it looks like there's a chance of him just losing his gen farm on this next Orc push anyways. He did invest in that turret, so that's kind of one less squad that he could have on the field right now. So if the Shooters and the Ludas get set up in a good position, they can actually threaten these Raptors quite well. Stun bomb goes down, doesn't really hit too much. The Raptors jumped out from under it. Oh no, but the Ludas were set up facing the wrong direction. Oh, it's terrible. I hate it when that happens. That's pretty significant, but it looks like the Ludas still managed to get the suppression fire down. Putting some good damage down, and now with the Shooters opening up, that first volley is enough to send the Raptors packing. The Plague Champ does kill all of the power in the meantime, and goes for starts decapping over here as well. Now with all the Heretics and everything responding to the Gen Bash threat, we could even just see some Hide the Boys. Yeah, that's what I was expecting to see. Hide the Boys to get those Sluggas in on the turret. With the Hide the Boys, even though he's coming in on the flank, the idea is that by the time the fire opens up on this, he won't be able to react in time. So yeah, they should be able to kill that quite easily. See, if the Plague Champ had seen that coming, he simply would have been able to see. The Heretics still almost got into melee with those Flamer Sluggas. So nice player there by Guru. Guru's sitting on so much requisition. There's not a lot of power on this map. There's your two main nodes, and then there's two contested nodes in the middle of the map. They're very much just right in the middle. Since the travel time in this map is so low from gen farm to gen farm, it's really easy to just constantly be threatening gen bashes here. Alright, Guru has 800 requisition. Oh my goodness. I mean, granted, it's not going to be that much when you consider that he's going to need to spend 425 to rebuild his gen farm, then 300 to go into tier 2. So he's kind of just only got a couple hundred requisition as far as his army value is concerned, right? Oh no! Oh, the shooters go down. Oh man, look, he actually stabbed him through the garrison. He gave him a big old stab, big old knife poke. The assassinate. But this is a lot of melee for the commando knob to be dealing with. It's pretty spooky. It's got to be careful. Alright, the Raptors are here. They're going to shut down these Ludas. They do get a quick volley off, but it's not enough to suppress everything. All of the orcs are forced to fall back. The Ludas were up a bit too far. Might even go down? No way. They've got 3 health. The sidearms might do it. No, the Raptors are out. The Heretic sidearms don't hardly do anything at all. But the Raptor sidearms could actually have finished off that squad. Fortunate enough for Gru, he does get away, but it looks like he's not going to be able to keep his gens up either. He even went so far as to build a generator in the middle just to get some more power income as he heads into tier 2. Kickin's heading into tier 2 as well. Both players with a big pile of requisition, but Kickin with much more power at this stage of the game. Touch and Nurgle comes down, and it's just getting harder and harder for the orc to engage. Losing the shooter boys is pretty huge. Like with as much requisition as GuruSkippy has, it almost feels like he should maybe just repurchase those or get something else back onto the field. The VPs are fairly even, but it's really the tech that's starting to get out of hand in this match. And Alive and Kickin hasn't really lost too much himself. So even if Guru takes some good fights, it's going to be hard for him to really cause any lasting damage to this army for the moment. Blood Crusher's coming out, and I don't know if GuruSkippy's... I feel like he should be expecting a vehicle or something. We haven't seen any tier 2 tech at all from his opponent. So hopefully he's got tank busters in mind or something along those times. Alright, the Aspiring Champion comes in just as another Chaos Space Marine model dies to the Commando knob. Commando actually getting some pretty significant kills in with those, with that Assassin's Knife. Doing good work. A couple more gens come down for Guru. Is he just gonna stick with the 2 for now? What is he doing with the rest of that requisition then? What does he have in mind that he doesn't want to slap down more generators? Tank Busters immediately purchased as soon as he spots that Blood Crusher.
Your forces obey you.
Now, the Commando might actually be able to deal with this. I'm not sure if with the Assassin's Knife he beats Heretics with an Aspiring Champion straight up, but we'll check back on that in a second. Blood Crusher pivoting around to deal with the Shooter Boys, trying to prevent any of these decaps on an Aspiring Champion on the Raptors, to make them a bit beefier and a bit meaner. Meanwhile, let's take a look back at this. Yeah, it looks like he actually can take them on with the Assassin's Knife. Not well. He still takes a lot of damage, but he can at least hold his own. Oh my gosh, did Skippy look away? I think he did. He took out the Heretics and was like, alright, job well done. He set the Commando to cap and looked away. And loses that Commando. A bit of an oopsie there. And we have a truck coming up next. Probably some truck busters to help deal with this Blood Crusher here.
We have the advantage.
And a big chaos push moving in on the gens over here. The looters are in place along with the tank busters, but there's Raptors to answer. And it's seeming like this is going to be a hard position again for the Orcs to hold. It seems like most of the game we've just been watching the Orcs desperately trying to defend this power, and just a little bit unable to do so. Orc boys hop into the truck and trying to move into a better position to engage here, but he probably doesn't want to hop out of there. Not with the Bile Skewer and the Blood Crusher over here. Guru just hasn't quite been able to make this happen. But this is actually working out pretty well to pull the Chaos away from his gen farm. We should at least be able to get this set up here again shortly. He just goes for a nice lap with the truck there. Brings it back around, and now he's got the Assassin's Knife to help slow down that Plague Champ. Now let's see what happens here. There's a lot to consider. Some stuns go down, Tank Busters get out of the truck along with the Slugger Boys, but there's not really much else here. It still seems like a fight he just can't quite take. He doesn't have any ranged damage support with this. Where are the... He only lost... Where are the other shooters? The shooters are capping. This lone Luda Boy, quite brazen, going for this decap. He will be very exposed on retreat. I feel like the Raptors and the Blood Crusher could both take him out pretty quickly, but it looks like he might get away with a sneaky decap in the meantime. Plague Champ has altered his weapon loadout. He's got the Plague Fist, he's got the Pestilent Armor, and the Blight Grenades as well. So it's gonna be... He's gonna be... real nasty thing to take out before. When he switches to the Bile Spear, he kind of loses some of his direct effectiveness against lighter infantry. But now that he's switched to the Power Fist, he can kind of smack around just about whatever. And with the Pestilent Armor, he's going to be incredibly tanky on top of that. Weirdo's here, though, ready to start blasting away into this Chaos Space Marine blob. Tank Busters are here. GuruSkippy had them kind of cloaked, so he was kind of trying to bait him into this, but the Plague Bomb comes down. Lots of damage going down on these Orc Shooter Boys and Weird Boy, trying to do what they can. Managed to stun these Raptors, but there's still a lot out here. It just doesn't feel like Guru's doing enough damage to hold. The Weirdo's doing great control, but with this Nurgle Worship, it just kind of feels like it's getting negated. I mean, when you have AoEs, like when you have HOTS and dots both on your side, it just becomes so hard to get damage done. The Blood Crusher and everything else are constantly healing. Everything is doing slow damage over time elsewhere. Oh my gosh. 298 to 363. Guru's putting up a good fight, but it's just he's staying in it just barely. And he's just not getting anything done at this stage. Kickin has just got such a lock on his Plague Champ play right now that the Orcs just can't find the deeps to get any real kills. Commando has been reserved, just Weirdo coming in. I feel like that's largely what a lot of this worship is doing, is negating the kind of chip damage that the Weirdo otherwise gets in on these kind of armies. These heavy armor ranged armies. Yeah, GuruSkippy throws in the GG, and that's going to be 1-0 for Alive and Kickin. That was rough. I could kind of feel the frustration there. Guru was kind of just constantly on the back foot, constantly trying to do something about this. That was rough. That looked like me playing the Commando. Let's see if Guru can bring it back around here. Alright, game number 2 in this Elite League matchup. This time Kickin with the Force Commander. GuruSkippy still with the Orcs, though. This time a little bit of a smaller one. A little bit of a zappier one. We got the Mech Boy this time. On Fedrid Folly, which should play to him pretty well. It's a nice spread out map, so at least on the map control side, you know, those big spread out maps and lots of ledges, that sort of thing, the mobility of those teleporting heroes can be quite effective. And of course the Mech Boy has lots of other great support options as well. And the Force Commander will be looking to just get that big mean Space Marine force together and roll them over. So double Shooter Boys. And double Scouts. Standard opens. But the Force Commander, it looks like the majority of the forces are actually all fighting over here. We've got the Tactical Space Marines. Mech Boy looking to probably jump in and engage these guys in melee, but the Force Commander will be back here to answer that. Yeah, he just says no thanks. The mech boy is not committing to the fight. He's just gonna keep running around and trying to cap map. He says, nah, I can't fight the force commander head on. So I'll just keep evading. I'll keep taking map. And the orc just probably wants to get either another squad or some upgrades on the field to really be able to engage this in any way that's efficient or effective.
We're losing a power node to the enemy.
Mech with a decap. No node on the power. Kickin forgot to node his power. Either that or he's going for some fast double tax. I'm not sure what the plan is, but whatever it is, the mech boy's here to punish it. Both shooter boys fell back here. GuruSkippy really liking Ludus. We've been seeing a lot of Luda play from him. Even in our Friday Night Fight matches, we see Skippy play Ludus pretty commonly. So if Kickin goes for double tax, this actually probably... I feel like this will be punished pretty easily by Luda boys. Because this is now primarily an entirely ranged army. Ooh, one more swing might be it for the mech, but it looks like he will be able to get out of there. The Ludas get into position, and now there's a bunch of orcs threatening a gen bash. Meanwhile, though, Alive and Kickin has managed to take the entire left side of the map, both VPs with those scouts now. And Skippy's probably kind of waiting to see if there's gonna... I mean, I guess since there weren't any gens down, he knows there aren't any assault marines coming up here. So he's got big shooters now coming out. The scouts are trying to recap the power. But Guru has full gens about to finish up. So looking pretty nice over here. Double tax, move forward, push up against the lone shooter boy squad. Shooters can beat those tax with the help of the Ludas, but not on their own. Now Kickin seems to know where the Ludas are, because he's not pushing up against this at all, despite having the superior firepower. Oh my gosh, Guru loses the mech boy, just to a volley of Space Marine fire. Guru seems a little off with his hero micro today. That's twice now that we've just kind of seen Guru just, I guess, kind of stand around while his hero dies. Bit of a goof up there. Alright, here comes the Ludas. He didn't know they were there, but the Storm Shield is here. And recognizing, oh my gosh, the Storm Shield is such a strong pick here. What is he going to be able to do against this? Against Mech Boy, Double Shooter, and a Luda, Force Commander gets a Storm Shield and counters just about everything.
Adding power generator.
The Storm Shield might be, I mean, it's 50% range damage reduction. It's crazy. Alright, thanks for hanging out, Metakalos. Oh dear. The Ludas are in the back. But look at this setup over here. I mean, can he actually stop this gen bash from happening? He lost his hero too, so he's losing map control on top of potentially losing his farms. If anyone can get out of this, it's GuruSkippy. He's got Storm Boys on the field now, so he's getting some melee to answer. But this is still a very dicey situation. And we can see, again, this is kind of the same way that Kickin was playing before. He just gets a pile of stuff and he sets up on your gens and he tries to shut you out of the game. A full retreat, that can't be intent. Was that? Maybe it was? I guess he doesn't have anything to deal with the storms. Just didn't want to take the chance of that getting out of hand. The Mech Boy has been repurchased, so he'll at least be able to keep the scouts in check. But look at the map right now. The map is just entirely in favor of Alive and Kickin. Power is actually even up just about. And Requisition, good deal in favor of Alive and Kickin, even though he has the larger army here. I'm sure that's a bit of a sigh of relief for GuruSkippy as he comes down to see that there's only one generator down. So probably not hurting as much from that Gen Bash as he might have otherwise thought, since the Space Marines did go for such a wreck-heavy build. Double tax and a dev with the Storm Shield. Really, the only thing that's a threat right now is those Storm Boys. If he can control the Storm Boys, he can control this game. Kickin looking very strong here if he can manage to pull off these engagements and get another Gen Bash in over here. He just barely didn't take down the node last time. He got one Gen. Can he finish the job now is the question. GuruSkippy needs to heal up and get out here immediately. But even then it might be too slow. One Gen remains. The Commando's up controlling the left side, or sorry, the Mech Boy's up controlling the left side of the map now. So Guru has at least that going for him. A nice positioning of these Ludas, of course, negated by the Force Commander. 50% range reduction is so much. 30 seems kind of reasonable, but 50? Woo! That's so much. The Devastator's shutting down these Storm Boys. What's he doing with the Storm Boys? He retreats the wrong squad. Oh, man. I think they're going to go down. Yeah. That's pretty huge. GuruSkippy in a terrible situation now. So many dead orcs already. 2 squads down. The Ludas and the Storm Boys, both fairly expensive squads as well. Yeah, one squad retreated. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. That's what I was guessing. Both players actually going into Tier 2 pretty much neck and neck, but the problem is one player's going into Tier 2 with a full gen farm, one's going in empty. Oh, look at this nice sportsmanship. You love to see it.
Scouts under attack. Ready.
Alright, well, a Chainsword and Storm Shield proving to be a real nightmare for this primarily ranged orc army to deal with. It's caused a full Gen Bash to go down, though it did take a couple tries to get it done. He at least made the Space Marine pay for it a bit, but only really with time. He hasn't really caused much requisition bleed at all. The tax have remained largely healthy and intact. The Mech Boy continuing to just jump around, teleport into map control land. Relegated to capping duty. He already went down once. It's like, alright, that's it. You're not fighting no more. So the double shooters, I guess they're just gonna try to make a move on the gens, try to force a reaction from the Space Marines. But a Razorback is coming up here.
One of our generators is under attack.
A truck for GuruSkippy. He's just gonna pull the Sluggas back, which I think is fine right now because by the time they get back home, maybe get a Slugga knob, the truck will be on the field. And the Razorback will have to deal with truck busters as well, I'm assuming. So Guru is not out of this. He's not in a great position, but he's very good with his orcs. These scouts want a grenade real bad. They're looking for it. They're looking for it a little early, but still connects with a couple models. Another Gen Bash comes in. The Sluggas are here. They do have a knob coming out here shortly. The truck trying to force some weird pathing from this tactical Marines, but they just fall back after snagging another generator. The Razorback is now spotted. Las Cannon gets purchased as well, so the Las Cannon comes online, but it's a bit too late. The truck has already gotten into a nice flanking position. And now the truck and the Razorback both transporting squads around.
We shall make it so.
And unable to engage one another.
Strategic points.
These transports just kind of cruising along. Oh man, what happened over here? The mech boy destroyed the node and gets the decap? What a nice play by GuruSkippy on the back end of all those engagements. Cult of Speed gets activated, tries to get the truck out of there. Looks like he will be successful, just barely. One more shot from that last cannon could have spelled certain doom, especially with stern guards coming in here. Tank busters coming out to complete the truck buster combo, and the VPs are still just slightly in favor of Guru, about a 50-point difference, 280 to 330 right now. And with tank busters coming out, things are going to be a lot dicier for this Razorback. He's not going to be able to play it quite as dangerously as he was playing before, but there are also stern guards out here, and stern guards with their damage over time bolters, a lot of piercing, a lot of dot on those, can make such short work of orc infantry squads. Shooters, sluggers, looters, you name it. Even storms. Makes it real difficult to deal with that increased damage.
Adding support structure.
Alright, some vengeance rounds to break down some gems once again. A lot of orc gens have gone down this game. So where are the tanks? Are they in the truck already? I believe they are. Yeah, we can see them in there.
We shall make it so.
What are these guys gonna do? Where are we taking them? Where are we taking them? We got the def gun coming out. We got the custom force field as well. Mech Boy's getting a little scarier here. Against the double tax, the def gun seems like a really solid choice. Again, he's got to be aware of the force commander with the shield though. But beyond that, I think he can find a way to make this happen. Mechboy teleports in, suppresses the stern guards, gives them a face full of the def gun fire. Meanwhile, the Slugger Boys trying to tangle with this force commander, although you'd kind of think that he'd want them engaging the tactical marines. He's continuing to reinforce out of the truck, but it's so expensive. He loses the Slugger knob. He almost loses the truck. The Sluggers have to fall back. He reinforced probably 10 Sluggers there and still loses the engagement. That's a downside sometimes to deal with that truck. A grenade goes down, doesn't actually connect. Losing your vehicle to a grenade is always like one of the most embarrassing things of this game. It's just like, oh, really? Oh no. Did all of the stern guards go down there? That's a big, a pretty big loss there for Kickin. Did they just stand there under the def gun fire? Pretty big. I guess Kickin just, I don't know if he thought the storm shield was I don't know if he thought the storm shield was protecting them, but yeah, big oof indeed. Stern guards, I mean, one of the most expensive things you can throw away. Grenade goes down, doesn't quite connect here, but it's still killing the stern guards is a great start to get Skippy back into this. Skippy, I think, still on the back foot here, but killing the stern guards is a pretty big win. It's 174 to 300, so he's got plenty of time to keep reinforcing, keep building up his orc forces to kind of make up for the early squad losses he had. And did the mech switch to the beamy? He did. The beamy's an expensive upgrade. It can be very nasty, but teleporting strong, bursty anti-vehicle kind of has to be. High mobility, high DPS. Always a danger in RTS. Wow, that was a pretty cool run. I like that. I'm sticking with it. I'm keeping it there. Alright, Tax will probably beat these shooter boys. The Tax are almost level 3. They have their Sarge. They're pretty mean with those upgrades. Mechboy switches back to the Def Gun at the last minute here. Forces the Force Commander to switch back to the defendability there so he can finish up that cap. But the truck is on the far side in a nice flanking position, going to threaten the gen farm of the Space Marines. Alive and kicking, approaching that tier 3 power, but not quite going to be able to finish it up here. The Razorback's over here, but recognizing the Truck Busters, decides better than to engage. And meanwhile, up top, the Force Commander trying to do what he can. The mech switched back to the Beamy. I'm not sure why. This is the perfect opportunity for that Def Gun. The Defend gets activated again. The Las Cannon takes a shot at the War Truck once again. But the War Truck will escape after taking out a couple of those generators. Alive and Kickin still sitting on so much resource, though. Custom Force Field gets activated, so he can't actually be knocked around. Does the grenade actually... The grenade still won't knock him back, right? It just does a lot of damage. Force Commander holding strong against what otherwise seems like a pretty tough thing for him to deal with. The Storm Shield and Chainsword have been integral to his ability to stay on the map as long as he has. Shutting down the mech boys, shutting down the big shooters, it's all pretty significant here so far. Oh, thank you, Kumbo. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Alright, Alive and Kicking going into tier 3. Weirdo coming out as well. Weirdo should be great here. The disruption that the Weird Boy offers, plus all of his AoE options. He's not going to do nearly as much damage considering we've got the Storm Shield out here, but the Storm Shield doesn't do knockback immunity, I believe it's only suppression immunity. It might be knockback immunity for the Force Commander himself. But yeah, it's so much less, like even the Force Commander itself, on top of, I think it stacks, but it's 50% resist to range damage, and then the Force Commander himself gets 20% on top of that. So this Force Commander is just a nightmare to deal with. You really need the melee forces, and that was like why losing the Storm Boys was such a huge thing early on. Like, look at this. This is him just standing in shooter boy fire. Nice flank though from the Orcs on the back side. The truck comes up, unloads the sluggers, but they kind of just stand around, unfortunately. Where were the tank buses? The tank buses are way up here. Oh, Cult of Speed, will it be enough? 2 shots from the Lazdev, but doesn't manage to finish it off. Scouts getting a decap on the far side. The victory points starting to even up a little bit. 114 to 214. Only a 100-point deficit right now for Kickin. Kickin's looking like he might be able to get back into this. And now that he's tier 3, guess what we're going to have here? Some of Terminators. Terminators are here. And they're going to just, yeah, they're just going to be dropped right into the middle of this Orc firing line. And there's really no answer to these right now. There's nothing that really threatens super heavy infantry. These Tacs repurchased their Sarge. The Sarge had gone down earlier, but Kickin just has such an advantage right now in resource that he's looking really solid. It's looking like this is going to be a match for Alive and Kickin. Skippy might have a shot here, and his map control is good enough that he might be able to stall this out for a bit. But the thing is, on this map, you can kind of just hold this high ground where the 2 VPs are and lock things down. But the Terminators, oddly enough, are pulling away. No, he turns them back around. All right, I was about to say, I would expect him to kind of just camp up top here with the Force Commander and the Terminators. Man, with this Storm Shield too, does the Storm Shield buff the Terminators? 50% less damage on Terminators. Oh my god. There's no way you're ever going to kill these guys. Assault Termies would be untouchable here. Yeah, but so are the normal Terminators, at least at the moment, honestly. Like, either one is pretty much fine. I think Skippy's heading into tier 3. Oh, no, he's debating. A Death Dread? We're gonna need to see some kind of big weird boy play here for Skippy to be able to fight this out, I think. Oh, sneaky scouts. Grenade comes in. He's just looking, I guess he's just looking to like, oh no! The Slugger Boys hopped inside of the truck, I think at this perfect weird timing that it actually like killed 3 of those sluggers with the grenade. Big Flamer down on the Terminators, but the Sluggers actually, with the Slugger Knob, can be a little spooky here. They still will take some damage, but the Terminators are up here completely by themselves at the moment. This is actually a bad idea. They have 2 power melee models, and of course the heavy melee of the Slugger Knob. But the Slugger Knob does go down to the Power Fists, and 100 points with the triple cap. This is not looking very good for Skippy. Oh dear. Oh dear. A Librarian coming out as well. Librarian, great support for Terminators and the Force Commander, honestly. The Slugger Knob isn't heavy? I thought he was heavy. I thought both the Storm and Slugger Knobs were heavy. Kunbo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying yourself. A little Orky madness here today. We're doing these Elite Mod games. Imagine if you'd used Vomit for the fight, he would have eaten the Terminators alive. You're right. But the Weird Boy was on retreat when those Terminators came in, so he didn't actually have the Weird Boy available to drop the Vomit. I don't know. He took the points back. There's only 100 points on the field. You can't call it done till it's done in this game. Guru isn't tier 3, so we're not going to see anything like a Rocks or anything. But these Terminators are pretty beat up. There's a weirdo out here. This could be what you were talking about. Here comes the Warp Vomit, perhaps. Everything hops out of the truck. The Clown Car comes out as the Warp Vomit goes down. Mech Boy hops on the point with his custom force field, and the Death Dread is shoving forward. 80 points and ticking down, and it looks like for the time being, GuruSkippy's managed to hold the high ground and decap the point yet again. Meanwhile, the far side, the Librarian and the Tax have pushed off the Tank Busters, but GuruSkippy has the 2 VPs, and he only needs to hold them for about another minute or so to lock this game down. All GuruSkippy has to do is stop one more push. And the Terminators are in no shape to fight, and they don't have a lot of time to hang out and heal in the base. We're gonna want to see that Slugger Knob come back as soon as he gets the opportunity, but GuruSkippy instead goes for a second Death Dread. Oh, I love it! These late game Death Dreads, are they going to be the thing that Guru needed? There's a las cannon set up down here and a pretty nice firing arc. It can't fire everywhere, but it can kind of stop right here. Oh, it even moves up a little forward. So yeah, now it's more of a wide attack. Force Commander switching to the Power Fist so he can help deal with these Orc vehicles that have been a huge thorn in his side. 52 to 47, and Scout's getting the decap right under his nose. Oh no, this could be it. The decap goes down, it stalls the VP bleed. One of the Death Dreads perishes. Mech Boy pretty low. Oh no, what's the Weird Boy doing? The Weird Boy's trying to engage in melee. He gets a special attack and knocks back the Force Commander, but not before he's knocked out of control. He's floating around, he's following that Force Commander. He knocks everything back, but the Mech Boy goes down 50 to 39 and dropping. But there's still Orcs on the field. I'm not sure he can make this happen at this point. I think losing the Weird Boy is probably the nail in the coffin. He was a little too I don't think he was expecting the Force Commander switch to the Power Fist there. For whatever reason, but yeah, Flesh over Shield goes down, shuts down this Death Dread. It can't really do anything, at least for the moment. The Las Cannon Dev and the Force Commander should be able to finish this thing off fairly quickly. They're trying desperately to take out this Force Commander. If they can drop the Force Commander, maybe they can focus the Termies, but the Libby's coming up the backside as well. Everything is going down, trying to capture this point. The Force Commander falls, the Sluggers fall, the Shooters fall. The Tank Busters are desperately reinforcing off the truck along with the final the final Shooter Boys. And GG comes in from Guru. And Kickin takes it. And this is actually not a 2-0, this is a 2-1. I actually cast the games in reverse order accidentally. Man. Kickin almost threw this one. He almost threw this one away. It was pretty dicey.